Los Angeles, a city whose massive dikes protect it from the ravages of the North Sea. It's Late Night with David Letterman. Tonight, Johnny Carson, Lee Marvin, Mayor Bradley, and Eddie Van Halen sitting in with the band. Also, viewer mail and a visit to Mr. Nicholas of Hollywood. And now, a man who spends each weekend falconing with network big shots, David Letterman.
So much. That's it. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the program. And as I've mentioned all week, we're coming to you from beautiful sunny Southern California. I have. It's a bittersweet moment. I have some good news, and I have some bad news. The bad news, of course, this is our last night here in Los Angeles to be doing the show. Yep. Now, the good news is I've been in California nearly a week here in Los Angeles, and I haven't yet run into George Goober Lindsay. That's the good news. Let's hear one, Paul. Yeah, come on. Here. Take it about here. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
This was only a test. Also, a beautiful day here. The air quality in Los Angeles, the Air Quality Control Management District said that the air quality today is good, which of course means that healthy adults can set their respirators to low. Thank you. And finally, in my, my trilogy of California jokes here tonight, my good friend Paul Schaefer and I took a walk last evening. We had a good time, didn't we, Paul? We went up on Hollywood Boulevard.
Lovely time down there.
And it's Paul Just Play Along Schaefer. And we're walking, was it about Hollywood and Vine or something?
Hollywood and Vine.
Hollywood and Vine.
That's where we were,
That's
yeah.
right. And a guy, a strange-looking guy, right?
Strange guy.
Very, very odd-looking guy. Have you ever seen a guy nearly that strange, Paul?
Not since, you fill in the blank.
That's all right. It's, we don't really need a comparison, but he was strange, wasn't he?
Strange
He comes
guy.
up to us and he says, wait a second. He says, the three of us have a mutual friend. And Paul and I looked at one another and we said, well, who? And he says, Barney Rubble. Very good. Okay, that's too late. Thank you so much. You don't know how proud I feel now. Ladies and gentlemen, I say it every night, but if this is the only show you can see between now and the time you have to go to bed, well, this is the one to watch. We have, I'll tell you in a second who we have. First of all, Paul, introduce our special friend playing with the band tonight.
Well,
Paul Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody knows who he is. All I can say is when we came out to L.A., there was one cat that we wanted to talk into sitting in with us, and we're thrilled that he did. He's an innovator. And he's just a nutty kind of a guy.
A nutty kind of a guy.
Eddie Van Halen.
Eddie, nice to have
you here. Because we don't fool around.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Nice to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, among other things, it's Thursday night, and I guess we all know what that means. It means that, what do we do? Oh, first of all, let's take a look at the skyline. I think from here you can see the, oh yeah, there it is, the lovely El Monte sign. Beautiful, isn't it? Just about this time of night. And also, it's Thursday night. We take a minute or two out from our busy schedule to answer our voluminous mail. Now, people are always saying to me, Dave, are those actual letters from actual viewers? You have one viewer mail, and my only response is, ladies and gentlemen, if these weren't actual letters, would I be able to do this? Letter number 1 begins thoughtfully enough. Dear Dave, can you take it with you? And it's signed John and Candy Humphreys. Well, John and Candy, you know, I didn't really think you could take it with you, but a few of us were visiting the La Brea Tar Pits the other day, and we pulled really hard on it, and in fact, it did come free. And look, here's what it is. Oh, gosh, it's still stuck. It's a, oh, God. It turned out to be this crude prehistoric stone carving of Dick Clark. So we're all... Oh, my gosh. All right, Dick Clark. We'll let you know when the pudding's ready. Oh, this is a nice touch. I look like I've been changing the oil in my car now for the rest of the show. Thank you. Dear Dave, letter number 2 begins, Dear Dave, and, parenthetical information here, and Flunky, who actually reads these letters for Dave. When I asked my dad if I could go to Europe this summer, he said, why don't you ask David Letterman? You seem to listen to him all the time. So, Dave, is it all right with you if I go to Europe this summer? Geez, Jeff, I don't know what to say here, but perhaps Flunky, the guy who actually reads these letters for me, perhaps he has some advice. Is Flunky around, Hal? Oh, there's Flunky, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I got some advice.
Okay.
Don't go to Europe, Jeff. Stay in school or you'll wind up like me, a pathetic old clown reading somebody else's mail.
Just like in rehearsal. All right, well, Flunky, by the way, have a nice weekend, Flunky.
Yeah, right.
That was letter number 2 for those of you keeping score at home. Letter number 3 begins, Dear Dave, I hope it rains the entire time you're in California. And it comes to us from Christopher Reeb, Cheektowaga, New York. Gee, Chris, I'm sorry you feel that way. Frankly, we all, of course, hope that it doesn't rain here because these studios are in some kind of a canyon, which means a real danger of, oh my God, mudslides. Run for your lives, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Oh, the studio's filling up with mud. That's one of those special effects designed by George Lucas and the people up in the... Okay, let's turn off the... Okay, we can turn off the water now, Hal. Okay, we'll get that water stopped for you. Excuse me. I had the shrimp salad in the commissary today. All right, where are we now, Hal? What letter are we up to here?
Letter number 4.
Thank you. It's our director, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Hal Gertner. Thank you very much, Hal.
Dave?
Yes, Hal?
It's Gurney.
Thank you, Hal.
2 E's.
Yeah, 2 E's. We have that, Hal. Dear Dave, will you read me a bedtime story? Insomnially yours, Liz Fathman, Grinnell, Iowa. I'm sorry about your insomnia, Liz, and I'm also sorry I don't know any bedtime stories. However, I do know the name of someone who might be able to help you with your sleep problem. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to our own Larry Bud Millman. Larry.
The inability to sleep always means just one thing, a guilty conscience. What do you do, Liz? Hustle phony diplomas? Run a bogus charity? Sell tainted meat? Turn yourself into the authorities so you can get the help you so obviously need. Once the police beat a confession out of you, you'll feel at peace with yourself for the first time in years. And then you'll sleep like a baby in the cool darkness of your prison cell. But in the meantime, maybe it will help if I sing you a little lullaby. Entertainment tonight. entertainment tonight. We're gonna have lots of fun as we entertain tonight.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Sweet dreams.
Larry.
What's this?
Take that with you.
Take that with
Just
me.
take that with you. There you go. Larry. Yes, sir. Now that's comedy, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to towel off here. We have a wonderful program for you tonight. In addition to Mr. Van Halen sitting in with the band, we're going to visit Mr. Nicholas of Hollywood. Also, I believe the mayor of Los Angeles will be joining us. Lee Marvin and Johnny Carson. It really ought to be 2 shows, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Eddie Van Halen. Very nice. Thank you very much. You boys ought to make a record. Well, this is an exciting moment for us. Are we nervous here, Paul?
Some of us are, yeah.
Yeah, we're a little nervous. It's a pleasure to welcome this gentleman, our first guest of the show. He is the star of The Tonight Show. Please say hello to Johnny Carson.
We are. Thank you very much.
Yes,
David,
sir.
You will find out. Thank you. I'll tell you what. You will find out, David, after a few years, this is the only way I can talk with anybody. I was out to dinner last night at a restaurant. I take this with me.
Yeah.
I go home after the show. I use this in our bedroom.
Uh-huh.
I do not perform well without this desk.
You know, I noticed something right off the bat. I think your desk is bigger than mine.
Well, another 20 years, you will have this desk. I think we can take this away now.
How about you unloading something from Beacons when you brought that out?
I saw you were doing an all-prop show tonight.
That's
so I
right.
Might as well.
Yeah, at the
get
end of the
along with
week, we get out all of the props.
Yeah.
You have your little yellow sticker there.
Yes, I'm a carrier, hepatitis. I thought your whole crew was infected or something now.
Yeah. Now, is this... thank you very much for being here, first of all.
Let me say something.
Sure.
I'm a little miffed at you.
Oh, no.
No. Now, let me tell you why. Because when they came to me about a month ago and said, would you like to do the Letterman show? I said, yes, I want to do it, because I love David Letterman. And I said, you know, May is beautiful in New York. I'll go first class, round trip. I'll have the hotel, the limousine. And then I found out you were doing it, and I walked across an asphalt parking lot to get here. And I thought I was going, you know, if I don't understand, I could have done Wheel of Fortune on the way over. There's a man dressed as a giant zucchini in the hall, waiting to go on Let's Make a Deal. I could have done that. But anyway, I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're terribly happy to have you here. Now, let me ask you right off the bat. You must just hate being a guest on somebody's show.
It's very strange. I think the last show I did, seriously, was David Frost, when David came over and fooled everybody for a while.
Whoa! Whoa!
You know what I mean. They thought David was an entertainer, and then they got on to him. See, nice thing about guessing, you can be cruel. You see on other people's
You don't
show.
have to be here tomorrow. That's the thing.
It is strange. It's very strange sitting here, looking this way, talking over here.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember your first television appearance?
My very first television
It's a stupid
appearance.
question. Obviously, you remember it.
Well, yeah, I remember, but it was in...
Maybe not.
It was stupid Star Treks, is what this is. It was in Omaha. My very first television show was in Omaha in 1948, believe it or not. I played a milkman in a documentary called The Story of Underland Fever about unpasteurized milk. That's true story.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
And that did pretty well, too, didn't it?
It's still... if you have cable, you can get it late at night. Yeah.
You mentioned you wanted to come to New York to be on the show when we were back there. Do you ever think about... You've been in California how many years now?
We've been here since '72.
Do you ever entertain any notions of taking the show to California or to New York?
Yeah, but you know, there's not many facilities back there anymore. We used to work in 6B. I understand that's all news now.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I do something? I watch your show.
What happens if I say yes?
I watch your show, and one of the things you do that I get a big kick out of is when you make telephone call to somebody from somebody in your studio audience, you know, to say hello to their parents
sure.
or
People
to
will
make
have
an excuse for them or something.
Right.
You pick it up and call. I would like to do that tonight myself. And I asked to have a phone here. Would you mind if I do that?
Well,
Let me show you. Let me show you. First of all...
Do a thing and come back and do it?
What? You want to take a break first? We have time now. It won't take long. I'm going to show you the number. I don't want you... I'm sure you won't say anything because I don't want the people to pick up on this. Do you recognize this number?
No, I don't, John. I've never seen that number before in my life. No, I've never seen it at all. Now, you're not serious about it.
I am serious. Is that?
Yeah, that's
that-
it. This is my home phone number back in Indiana.
All right. Did you call your mother on Mother's Day?
I certainly did.
I want to make sure of that, so I have it.
Oh,
May I have? Can I use it? I'm serious.
no. No.
Yes?
You know, Mom's hearing is not what it used to be.
Yes, well...
She have to come up out of the cellar to answer the phone.
Is this the right number?
That's it.
All right. May I borrow your phone?
Well, you want me to dial a deal or what?
I guess it would be all right if...
Now, this is...
Don't let them know what it is, because, you know, some people can read, they hear it and they read the... So I guess we have to dial what, one, then...
One. Is this for real? God, I guess it is. Run for your lives.
One. All right. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is my mother. It's my mother, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello?
Is this Mrs. Dorothy Letterman?
That's right, Dorothy.
Yes, it is. Who's this?
Are you the mother of David Letterman who does Late Night on NBC?
Oh, yes, I am. Well, who is this, please?
Miss Letterman, this is Johnny Carson. I'm calling from NBC in Burbank.
Oh, my word. Oh,
Look, how are you?
fine, thank you.
Miss Letterman, can I ask you a question?
Oh, sure.
Has David ever told you that he hopes that I get run over by a Sparkletts water delivery truck so he can get the 11:30 time period on NBC? Has he ever told you that?
Yes, he talks about it frequently.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Letterman. Bye-bye.
About it frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well...
Mothers, you see, mothers don't lie.
No, we'll put a tracer on that call. We have to do a commercial. We'll be right back with Johnny Carson phoning your relative. Mom. Welcome back to the show. Obviously, Johnny Carson, you and I look like we might be ushering later at some sort of a
Don't we,
function.
though? I didn't know you were going to wear your basic hosting outfit tonight.
Now, you mentioned, by the way, Mom was very happy to hear from you. Now, do you want to explain to people that...
I suppose we should let him in on the joke by now. It's an actress by the name of Arlene Banner. She was talking backstage. They didn't tip you, did they?
No, no.
Good, I'm
In
glad.
fact, you know, it sounded to me like maybe a cheerleader had broken into Mom's house and answering her phone there.
Mom is not as spry as she used to be. Huh?
You know, you met my mom about 3 years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's what I tried to explain to Mom. It was,
Son! No, what did I mean?
it was, it must have been,
About 38 years ago?
no. Yeah, she was working a USO place in Omaha. Now, cut that out. Yeah. No, you were...
That's right.
You're doing your show.
Yeah.
And my mom was very thrilled. That made her entire trip. She was in California for about 10 days.
Nice. I do remember that.
And it scared me silly.
Yeah.
It really did. But it was very nice for you to do that. Sure. Now, we're talking about the contract and so on and so forth. You've just signed a new deal here at NBC. Have you ever... How many years has it been? You're working on your 23rd year?
Yeah, we finished 23 in September, and I understand if you do 25, you get a Timex watch from NBC. And I may go for the watch.
Going for the watch.
Go for the watch.
Have you, in all of that time, has there ever been anything NBC said, nope, we're not going to give it to you?
I've pretty well got a lock on them. No. You know, you've negotiated with them. No, we've been very fortunate.
Oh, no, I think my negotiations and your negotiations are two different floors of the building.
No, we've had a good run with the show. We've been very lucky. The audience has been very loyal.
Yeah.
It's been a nice ride.
Yeah, but I do think you,
By the way,
pretty much whatever you want.
you've been doing this now for what, 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years and a couple of months.
I tell you what, you will find if you continue this, there will come a time when you run out of questions. Maybe that's happened to you already.
Could be happening now.
Right now. I sense that. You will have the starlet on and you will have asked her whether her mother or father had the greatest influence and whether she likes to live in California or not. I have about run out of questions. Yeah. I have about 6 or 7 left that I have never, ever asked on the show. I brought them along.
Oh, good.
Just in case.
Thank God.
Just in case you run into that bad interview.
Thank
where
God.
You just don't know what to... I'm going to will these to you.
Maybe I'll jot these down.
All right. You're in real trouble. You say to your guest, what would you do if I jammed a lit highway flare up your nose? You see? It's just one there. Now, you had Bo Derek on the other night, right?
Yes, we did.
You could have said to her, have you ever used one of your vital organs as a hand puppet?
All right. Hand puppet, highway flare.
Some of these obviously are going to be better than others.
Yeah, well, you got to try them. Oh, you skipped one.
Here's
Did you
one
skip
here.
One?
Where do you suppose the sock goes that disappears in the dryer?
Yeah, that's good. Thought-provoking.
You didn't pay for that plastic surgery, did you? That's nice. And my favorite, and I think it will probably be yours, but we'll be the judge of that in a moment.
Right.
You say to your guest, how would American history have been changed if the Secretary of Agriculture in the Roosevelt administration had been Johnny Mathis?
Okay. I think, Johnny, I'll stay with the highway flare and the hand
That highway
puppet.
flare and the hand puppet.
I like those pretty well. Oh, my gosh. You get a lot of movie offers living in California all these years? People are always saying, this man would be perfect. He would be like another Cary Grant sort of person.
You know, I used to get some offers, and Jack Lemmon always used to say, you know, I could have played a lot of things that Jack played, which would have been fun. But with The Tonight Show, as you know, when you're on the schedule, I only have like the longest period during the whole year is 3 weeks. You really don't have time to make a picture.
Yeah.
And as you get older, all of a sudden it doesn't become much fun. This is fun because this is what television is. You come out, it's right now, it's spontaneous, and you give and you take, and some nights you're good, some nights you don't know what's going to happen. Movies I find kind of boring. You sit there and you have to do it over and over and over again.
You wait 8 hours to do one line.
It takes a lot of discipline. Yeah. So I did do Looking for Love with Connie Francis.
1965 offering, I believe.
1965.
And what was the film? What was the plot in Looking for Love, other than obviously Looking for Love?
I remember the ad was, could Connie pass the kiss test? It was an exciting picture. And it's the only movie that I know that the Motion Picture Academy transferred to flammable nitrate stock. And, I think it is. Usually they do it the other way around, but this one they transferred it back, and it was. Look, they gave me some money, and I was one day, and I went in and did it, and played myself, so it was no big deal.
How do you like the neighborhood? We're neighbors.
Well, I called you about a week ago to come play tennis, and you called and you didn't show.
I know.
Why not?
Well, I was actually, I had cold feet. You know what I mean? I'd feel like a jerk playing tennis with you.
Why?
Well, because 90% of the day I feel like a jerk.
No, but explain it to me that way.
It's
yeah, we're out in Malibu.
Yeah, sure. and you having some work done on the place? We see
fixing up a few things.
Yeah, we sit there late at night in the car.
Yeah. Well, let's keep it that way.
Oh my God. You got to go do your show here, huh?
Yeah. I've got to. As a matter of fact, what I'm doing tonight, I could do the finish here. I told the first part of the joke on my show earlier tonight.
Yeah.
And I was going to do the punchline here, so people who watch my show would tune in to see this show.
An experiment in television.
This is a joke.
All right.
In other words, you will not hear.
This is good.
This is the punchline to the joke that I did earlier on my show.
Okay. All right.
And the man says to Mrs. O'Hara, "I'm not so sure about that. He got out 3 times to go to the bathroom." Now that's the punchline to the joke that I did this.
So people are in on a little television history tonight.
That's right.
Yeah.
Unfortunate as it is, they are.
Yeah. All right. Now, well, let me see what we're doing here. We got to the station identification. That's it?
I think that means say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
He's doing one of these.
All right. We're done. Okay. It was a pleasure. And what do you think? It wasn't too awkward, was it?
I had fun.
Oh,
Enjoyed
good.
it.
I'm glad you did. You were terrific.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks for everything, Johnny. Nice to see you. Johnny Carson, folks. Thank you very much. Very funny. Very nice. Very nice. You know, Eddie, you can lose those other guys. These are the ones. Does David get on your nerves? All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you tune this program in Monday, Eddie, will you be with us Monday? Come on. Be here Monday. Oh, yeah, that's right. Anyway, on the show Monday, Dr. Ruth Westheimer will be joining us, and what else? Is that it? 60 Minutes with Ruth Westheimer? Oh, yeah, watch this one, folks. Yeah, I'd take a look and see what the CBS movie is that night. No. It's only a joke, ladies and gentlemen. I have nothing but the highest regard for the CBS late movie. For Dr. Ruth. I'm only teasing here now. Okay, you know, the world of show business has had, by the way, Hal, can we see the freeway again?
Yeah, here it is.
This is actually what our window looks out. Look at that. Unbelievable. The world of show business has had many glamorous figures of mystery. The noise is driving me nuts. Greta Garbo, Howard Hughes, Marlon Brando. Something we call fun with sound effects. Anyway, many glamorous figures of mystery, Greta Garbo, Howard Hughes, Marlon Brando. Well, we are fortunate enough tonight to be granted a rare interview with perhaps the most misunderstood of all, great recluses, the hair peacemaker to the stars, Mr. Nicholas of Hollywood. If you're anything like I am when you're at home watching your favorite TV show or enjoying a fine film, you're always saying to yourself, boy, those stars are awfully well groomed. How do they get to be that way? Well, many of them are wearing Nicky hairpieces. And that's why while we're in Hollywood, we decided we'd stop in and pay a visit to Nicholas of Hollywood. Nicholas, do me a favor. Give me some of the names of some of your clients that we might recognize.
I would rather not say who my clients are.
You're worried about a lawsuit, aren't you?
Well, more or less.
Look, let me worry about the legal problems, okay?
Well, I'm working on one right now for Clyde Baldwin. Clyde Baldwin is a very famous man. He does Al Jolson. He's the only one today who does Al Jolson in the big leagues.
I know you've been responsible for some developments in the hairpiece industry. Tell us a couple of your innovations.
When I first came into the hairpiece business, there was no names for styling, and it was very confusing because people wanted a style and they didn't know how to call it by what name.
There was nothing to identify a particular look.
Exactly. So we start giving them looks of names after celebrities. This is the style that Jack Klugman wears. This is the Jack Klugman style.
And you're talking about the hair, not the eyebrows.
No, we're talking about the hairpiece. This is the Tom Jones style. And then we have the Frank Sinatra style.
Frank Sinatra as an 11-year-old girl. Nicholas, tell me about this article in the newspaper on the wall there. What is that?
Well, the baby was catching colds all the time, so they put a hat on him at night, but they had to attach it some way to under his chin. But they were afraid he might choke to death.
Sure.
So that's when I spoke to his grandmother, and she told me, well, let's try a hairpiece with tape.
Now, as far as you know, no one is choked to death wearing a hairpiece.
No, unless they would decide to eat it.
I'm confused. How does that have anything to do with putting romance back in your marriage?
Oh, that's just the headline of the Inquirer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's only the headline of the Inquirer.
That's my mistake. I'm sorry. Now, let me ask you a real personal question. Are you wearing any of your products anywhere on your body, Nick?
Yes, I wear a hairpiece.
Oh, you're wearing a hairpiece? Yeah. But everything from the hair down is?
Yes, most of it from the hair down is mine.
Okay, good. And what is this model?
Well, this is a moth. It's actually a newer type of a situation. We haven't got a name for this one yet. It's a younger generation.
I look like an opening act for Don Ho. Okay, Nick, in the final analysis, I know you've written a book on this topic. What is it that you need to know to buy a hairpiece?
Well, let me read you a chapter from my book. In fact, the last page. What do you need to buy your first hairpiece? Courage. The courage to stop thinking about it and to start shopping for a hairpiece. The courage to see yourself going to work for the first day with your new hairpiece. The courage to go home to your wife and children for the first time with your new look. The courage, if unmarried, to face your girlfriend or girlfriends for the first time. The courage to see all your personal friends with your new hairpiece. The courage to go to the club for the first time wearing your new hairpiece. Courage, courage, courage. That's all it takes.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. We'll be right back with Lee Marvin. My next guest won an Academy Award in 1965 for his part in the film Cat Ballou, and some of his other films include The Dirty Dozen, Gorky Park, Ship of Fools, and The Professionals. A great actor. Please say hello to Lee Marvin. Hi, Lee. Pleasure to see you, sir. Thank you very much for coming in. Come on over here. Nice to see you.
Nice to be here.
I suppose you're going to want to phone my mom, too, huh?
No, I don't make those kind of calls. They're obscene, aren't they? I mean...
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good. You seem a little, I don't know, preoccupied. Something on your mind?
No, I'm just watching the front half of the show.
And?
No, that's all.
I know you live in Arizona now. You don't live in Hollywood, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, why don't you live in Hollywood anymore?
Well, you saw what's going on out here all the time. I'm in the quiet part of life, you know, or just go to the garbage dump and stuff like that.
Yeah. Where do you live in Arizona?
You're kidding. I'm out of town. It's my hideout.
You can't name the city? What's the big
There's
city?
only 2 cities in Arizona.
Phoenix
Yeah?
and Flagstaff.
Well, I thought you were going to name the other one.
Yuma.
No, actually, I'm in the Tucson area. Yeah.
Tucson area.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a ranch there, Lee?
Well, no. That's the first thing they ask. You live in Arizona, they say, where's your ranch?
Yeah.
All right, I have a house.
Have a house, but you have some land with it, I guess, huh?
Well, enough to hold the house up, yeah.
And how do you spend your time there? What is a typical day like for you in Tucson?
I do nothing. I just sit there, yeah.
Really? Yeah. You must have hobbies?
Well, my hobby is avoiding work.
Mm-hmm. And you're doing that, I guess, you work, though. You're working a lot.
No, not really. It just looks like that on the late night shows, you know, because they run all your old stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Do you miss nothing about Hollywood?
No.
What about the early days when you first came to Hollywood? I bet that was fun, huh?
Oh, yeah. When the old timers were really doing it, you know, and it was quite loose.
Yeah, like what? Explain to us how loose it was and who were the old timers and what you did and stuff.
Well, it was always the Garden of Allah, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, but the guys
The
had,
Garden of Allah was what? It's a hotel?
Well, it was sort of a hotel.
A resort? A spa?
It's been called many things. But, you know, it's where the guys used to hang out and have a few...
Yeah.
And, you know, it was just a delightful place to be because everybody was a character, you
Now,
know.
who were the guys? You and who else?
Me? No, I was just a hanger-on.
Okay, but who else was there?
I was a groupie then. No, I'm talking about, you know, the days of those directors, you know, and the real stars at that time.
Hard drinking? Fights?
Hard playing. Well, the fights were fun. You know.
Yeah, what good fight really isn't fun when you get down to it?
Well, you know, that's where Hollywood got its name for makeup, you know, because they had to pass these guys up so they could get on those horses in the morning.
Yeah. And a lot of wild romance? Crazy women?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I'm a happily married man, and I don't remember any of that.
Uh-huh.
Sweetheart, I'm telling you the truth.
Now, we kept reading over and over this afternoon that you were a plumber at a theater, and that's how you got into acting. Is there any truth to that? That sounds like a Hollywood story.
It sure does, like coming in the back way, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, actually, I was a septic tank digger. And, yeah, I got a few calls to the theater. Because, you know, they were throwing funny things in the... And they saw me, and they needed some guy that was tall and loudmouth. And I fell into a play and liked it.
Yeah. And what was the play you were in?
It was an old play called Roadside by Lynn Riggs.
Yeah. There must have been a time in your career when you played other things than heavy, mean, nasty guys.
Not very successfully.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I guess I've always more or less been sort of a heavy, you know.
Yeah. And that must be fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You know, you don't end up with a girl, but you know, you get the good lines.
Yeah. And there was this, you know, at the time it probably sounded like a great idea, the musical. You and Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
What was it, Paint Your Wagon?
Yeah, Paint Your Wagon, yeah.
Now, what was that like? Did you actually sing in the film?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
And it was terrible because, you know, I can't sing.
Uh-huh.
And Alan J. Lerner says I can't do it without you in the thing and singing. So they made me sing. And it was probably the most frightening thing I've ever done, you know, in my theatrical life.
Did you and Clint ever do a number together?
You mean a singing number?
Talking about singing, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Well, we're in the same album, let's put it that way.
Yeah, okay. It was a pleasure to meet you. You know, you and I sort of worked together once before. It's a long story, I won't bore you with it, but it was nice to see you again. And thanks for coming in from wherever in Arizona, parts unknown.
A delight.
Thank you. Nice meeting you. We'll be back here with Mayor Tom Bradley.
Introducing a revolutionary new step in cover.
Thank you, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to welcome this next gentleman to our program. Please say hello to the mayor of Los Angeles, Tom Bradley. Tom, nice to see you. How are you, sir? Come on over and sit down, Tom. Nice to see you. Congratulations. This is what, your 17th term of office or something like that?
You're a little bit long on the numbers. It's the fourth term.
But congratulations to you,
Thank you very much, David. You know, I've watched and I've had a lot of complaints from our people. They see you throw your cards and your junk through those windows into L.A.
Right.
Dirty up the streets.
Yeah.
And they asked me if I could get you to clean it up.
All right.
But before you do, I've got some cards I want to present to you. This says LA's the place.
LA's the place. Very nice.
Various pictures.
Beautiful picture postcards,
Yeah.
colorful scenes around Southern California. All right. How are we doing here?
Okay, I do have one I want to leave with you as a souvenir.
All right. Very nice, Tom. I'll accept that with a great deal of pride. Thank you very much, Tom. I'll tell you what, we have to do a commercial. It's not finished yet. We'll be right back, folks. Thanks, Tom. Thank you again very much. Eddie, thank you very much. And I want to take a couple of seconds here to thank everybody at NBC Burbank, everybody on the studio crew, everybody in the control room, everybody who helped in the office, everybody who helped load and build this stuff. We had a wonderful time. You were terrific. We hope to come back. We'll see you from New York Monday night. Good night.